And this is the Particles Homework Booklet question 2. The nucleus of a particular atom has got a nucleon number of 14, a proton number of 6. State what is meant by nucleon number and proton number. So nucleon number is simply the number of protons plus the number of neutrons, the total number of neutrons. I don't think you should use the word nucleon in that answer, so the total number of protons and neutrons. What's the proton? That is simply the number of protons. There's no avoiding using the word protons in that answer there. 1 mark for getting those two things. Calculate next the number of neutrons. Well, if I've got 14 nucleons, there's that 14, and I've got 6 protons, then the rest of those 14 nucleons that aren't the 6 protons must be neutrons, so it's 14, take 6, I end up with 8 neutrons. We're then asked to calculate the specific charge. Well, specific charge is the charge divided by the mass. It's the specific charge of the nucleus. So I've got 6 lots of 1.6 times 10 to the minus 19 as the charge, and I've got 14 nucleons, each with a mass of 1.67 times 10 to the minus 27 kilograms. Do that sum, I end up with 4.1 times 10 to the 6 coulombs per kilogram. The specific charge of the nucleus of another isotope is 4.8 times 10 to the 7. States what is meant by an isotope. So isotopes are variations of an element with the same proton number but different nucleon number. So same number of protons, different number of neutrons. Here comes the interesting question. Calculate the number of neutrons in that isotope. So what do we know? We know the specific charge. We were given that it's 4.8 times 10 to the 7. We also know the charge because it's the same proton number, so it's still a charge of 6 times 1.6 times 10 to the minus 19. What we don't know is the number of neutrons. I can't work that out directly, but I can work out the number of nucleons. So if I take the nucleon number and multiply it by the mass of the protons and neutrons each have, I can rearrange that, and it turns out that I've got 12 nucleons, and therefore we know that we've got 6 protons, so it's 12 minus 6 is the 6 neutrons. So that is the Particles Homework Booklet question 2.